Hello and welcome back. Today I wanted to do the Narnia book tag that my friend Morgan created over on her channel. She actually created this like over a year ago and tagged me, and I completely thought I had done this tag. And then Chrissy over at Chrissy's Purple Library recently tagged me because she just did it. And I was like, oh, I hadn't done it yet. I totally thought I had. I'm so sorry, Morgan. I completely thought I had done this tag. But here I am doing it now. So yeah, maybe this tag will get a second life. So if you guys have not done the tag and you would like to either leave your answers in the comments below or respond with your own video at the end. So there are two sections of questions she's got here. She's got questions based on the Chronicles of Narnia books, and then she's got questions based on the characters. So for the questions based on books, I went to my TBR shelf, and you guys, oh my goodness, it is always such a fun time going to my TBR shelf, but also like a little bit daunting because as I'm looking for books that fit the prompts, I'm like, oh, I really want to read this like right now, but I have books in my docket already. And I'm like, no, I need to, this is good for right now. No, I want to read this one. This one sounds so good. So it does renew my interest in my own TBR shelf, but at the same time, it makes me realize again that I don't have enough time for just reading, especially for somebody like me who has other hobbies as well. Let's start with the questions. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. A book about royalty. So some of these prompts are a little bit easier than others, which is nice. But first one I have is The Chatain's Guardian, and you guys know I love these old vintage covers. Oh, I just love it. It's so great. So the only thing I know about this one is, as far as I know, these are all going to be Christian books. I will clarify if it's not a Christian author. But this one is, oh, the Chatain Deirdre already chafed at being the closely guarded heir to the kingdom. So our main character is heir to the kingdom, and I would say that's royalty. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so it doesn't explicitly say princess or anything, so I don't know what kind of kingdom, but typically kingdom means king, so we're going with this one. The next prompt is a book featuring war. And now if you guys know my reading style, I also kind of avoid war books, but then this one just jumped right out at me. So this one's called Day of War, the Lion of War series by Cliff Graham. This is 998 BC, so in ancient Israel. And that's probably why I grabbed it, because I don't read biblical fiction, but I do love historical fiction set in Bible times. So, and I think that's what this one is, because it talks about him being loyal to David. So, yeah. Next prompt is a book about faith. Yeah, a book about faith. I thought this would be hard to find, but then I came across The Divine Romance by Edwards. Who Edwards? Jean Edwards. And the back says, rarely ever has a piece of Christian literature combined the simplicity of the storytelling art with the profound depths of Christian faith. So I thought that's probably pretty fitting. I'm assuming there's a lot of faith content in this book. Next prompt. A book featuring insanity or forgetfulness. I know I have a lot of Ted Dekker, and typically, often those will come across someone with some kind of insanity. But I went with the forgetfulness way. I was looking for something like with amnesia or something, and then I found The Lazarus Trap by Davis Bunn. So this one starts off, awakening in a jail cell and bleeding from his head, Val Haynes remembers nothing, not even his name. So I'd say that works as forgetfulness. So, and again, as I'm reading all of the backs of these, I'm like, oh, I want to read that one. I want to read that one. Oh, I can't wait to read that one. The next one is a road trip book. So that one I'm gonna go with The Impact of a Single Event by R.L. Pendergast. This is one that I've wanted to be reading. It's been on my TBR for so many years. Wait, I thought this one wasn't in first person, and then it isn't. Maybe partially. At first I thought it was in first person, and then I thought I looked and it wasn't, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting confused, but it's definitely in first person, which is probably why I haven't read it. But these stories take Richard and Sonia on a personal and historic journey across Canada to the jungles of India and back to the Canadian Rocky Mountains. So, it sounds like there's also some ship travel, but I imagine also road trip travel. Because it's not a contemporary book, I don't believe. So I think it is set back in the day No, it is fairly contemporary. Oh, I had this book pegged all wrong. This is 2003, so it's like 20 years ago for us, 22 years ago for us, but when it was published, it was very current, so. Okay, that changes my view, but also potentially still road tripping, I hope. Like, they could be flying at this point, but I'm hoping this counts as road tripping. Next prompt, a book about creation. I could not find anything in the fiction section because, like I said, I don't read biblical fiction, so I'm not really sure what else would count in the fiction world as like being a creation book. So I went nonfiction, and that's The Case for a Creator. I did read The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. I read that one a few years back, and I have this one I have yet to read. So this is about the creator, which I assume also means creation. So that one. Next one, A Bittersweet Ending. This one was a little bit hard for me to find because I did want to stick with my TBR, so I hadn't read it yet. But also, you'll see I changed that later. I ended up going with The Ark, The Reed, and The Fire Cloud by Jenny L. Cote. This is one of those Max and Liz middle grade stories where it takes biblical events and other historical events through the lens of the animals around that time. So I think the whole ark flooding the world is bittersweet. Very bitter in that almost the whole world dies, experiences death in a massive way, but also sweet in that God created a way for us to have a second chance, you know, as humanity. He didn't just wipe everyone out, and that was the end of it, you know? So, bittersweet. Now we're on to characters. So for Peter, she wants a book with a leader. And I'm going with Showdown by Ted Dekker. Oh, I should also preface, all of these, except for one, are books I have read now that are not on my favorite shelf because I wanted to talk about some other books that I have read, but maybe haven't made it to the favorite shelf. Showdown by Ted Dekker. This one, Ted Dekker's books are always weird. So a stranger comes to town, and slowly but surely, he's manipulating people. That seems in a very innocent way, but he's manipulating people to act and do things and say things that are very out of their character. So I'd say that stranger was a leader. Not a good one, but he was a leader, I would say. For Susan, she wants a book that features a doubter. And I've got Synapse by Stephen James. She didn't specify a doubter of faith or religion or anything like that. So Synapse by Stephen James follows a woman. This is futuristic, so there are household robots that people have to make life easier. And our main character is very against these robots. She does not trust them. And I can totally relate. But I would say that's a doubter of technology and how far it's advancing. I'd say so. For Edmund, she wants a redemption arc. So I went with Priceless by Joel and Luke Smallbone of Freaking New Country. This book is a human trafficking story, and in this book, our main character, one of our main characters, is a semi-truck driver, and he takes on a job, no questions asked, even though he has very strong feelings that something bad is going on. And I'll say he's into a lot of bad things at the beginning, and he finds a way to do the right thing by the end. So I'll go with that one without giving you spoilers. The next one is Lucy, a trusting character. That one I'm going to go with Anomaly by Krista McGee. This one I always call the The Island movie. This one follows, again, science fiction. In this science fiction future, I guess scientists have wiped, emotion? Yeah, free of emotions, in the hope that war won't threaten the world again. So our main character is a young girl, Tally, and she just trusts that the world that she lives in is what it is, face value, until she learns otherwise. So we'll go with that one. The next one, for Caspian, she wants a king or queen, and we're gonna go with King Arthur. This is an Arthurian retelling by Stephen R. Lawhead. I really like this series, the Pendragon Cycle, and this one focuses mostly on King Arthur. For Eustace, she wants an annoying character, and I'm gonna go with a recent read, Sword of Truth. This is The Wakefield Dynasty by Gilbert Morris, and I'm gonna go with, what is his name now? Oh, Ralph Geddes. If you guys have read this book, let me know. Ralph Geddes in the comments. Ugh, the guy. So, he's very annoying and... oh. The next character is Jill, and I'm supposed to get a book with an archer. We are going with Stephen Lawhead again, and we're going with this Robin Hood retelling. So, as you can imagine, a Robin Hood retelling would have our Robin Hood character being an archer. So, there you go. Next character is Shasta, and she wants a hidden identity. And this one, I hope I'm remembering it correctly. So that is The Silent Governess by Julie Clausen. This one, yes, like I said, hopefully I'm remembering it correctly. Obviously I don't want to tell you where the secret identity is or whatever, because that's spoilery, but she is, I guess, forced in a way to become a governess for this manor. And let's just say someone is hiding an identity. Next character is Aravis. So she wants a strong female character, and we're gonna go with Casey is her name? Yeah, Casey Cox from the If I Run series by Terry Blackstock. This one went crazy in the Christian book world a couple of years ago. So I feel like most Christian booktubers have read it already, but it's a trilogy, and our main character is thrown into all sorts of situations, and she manages to hold her own in those situations. So, next character is Digory, a wise character. I am going to pull Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan, because this one follows our main character, Megs, who is in Oxford, which is funny because so is the next book. And she's in Oxford at the time of C.S. Lewis, and she actually meets C.S. Lewis, and they have a few meetings, and there's obviously other threads to it, but the fact that she met C.S. Lewis, this isn't true, by the way, this is fiction, but just hearing C.S. Lewis talk in a more like down-to-earth, everyday kind of way, and obviously C.S. Lewis was a very, very wise man and wrote lots of very biblical and thought-provoking and theologically sound material, so I would say he is a wise man. For Polly, she wants a smart character, so not wise, but smart. So for this one, I'm bending the rules, and we're going back to the TBR. I'm going to go with Inklings by Melanie M. Jeske? I don't know. But this one, again, our main character is in Oxford. Her first year at a prestigious Oxford University. Yeah, so I would say if you're accepted into Oxford, you're pretty smart. And lastly, for Tirian, a character thrust into a situation he's unprepared for. This is a she, but we're going with Arena by Karen Hancock. This one, our main character is a struggling university student, so she takes a gig for a drug testing program or whatever, and this, I don't know if it's drug testing, but it's some kind of technology testing, and so she is actually transported into a different world, and she did not expect this at all from this trial program, just to earn some extra money as a university student. So big time, she's been thrust into a situation she did not prepare for. So those are the books that I chose for the for the Narnia book tag. Thank you so much, Morgan, for creating this tag. It was so much fun to go back and look at my TBR shelf. If you guys, again, want to do this tag on your channels, definitely consider yourself tagged. And if you don't have a channel but want to answer some questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye!